this Day who wrote it?
Day wrote it.
Yeah, Day, just so you know, you've taken 5 hours off of my sleep tonight, so you'll be up thinking about this. So, if you see me looking haggard next week on the show, it's all you. But, I mean, I would like to think so, because I think it's a really good show. You definitely liked that one.
Jeff is laying on the floor laughing.
That's the thing I love about doing X-Play, is I realize that when you're, in high school, getting kicked in the nuts is funny. And then you go to college and you want this erudite humor.
Right.
Then you get out of college. I got to work on X-Men. No, getting kicked in the nuts is funny.
I don't like the drumming games that are
there was a taiko drumming game that was kind of fun.
What was that?
Like the big Japanese drums. It was it was not sold in large quantities here because taiko people think it's probably a root vegetable, and I don't want to play a root vegetable game. The strangest thing is that you look at the screen and it'll tell you when to do things, but there's this smiling character that really looked like a sperm. They'd be like, "You're doing good, you're doing bad." And I'm like, it's weird.
Wow, so you have to use protection and.
Yeah, I mean, I'm drumming to make the sperm happy. I don't have a joke there. It was just one of the more surreal moments in gaming.
I don't know that you need one.
You're right, drumming for sperm. I have no problem with it. If they want to get off topic because somehow I've spurred a better. There are so many better topics of conversation than me, and that's coming from me.
One. I can't.
You. Okay, there. That doesn't bother me because I think if people spend too much time thinking about me, they're gonna come up with they're gonna notice all the bad things because it's the other important thing is I think this is hopefully one of the ways we're trying to show respect to people who do like games and who do like the show is that almost all other shows treat gaming as if it exists in a vacuum, and that this is part of a larger pop culture, and it's all interrelated with it. And so, by talking about having fun with the game, we can actually sort of also use that as a way to go after all other aspects. What games are popular now are indicative of something in society, and you can suddenly it's very easy to give it a larger context. And that's all you really need to do to keep people interested. I mean, some of the games. A lot of people always ask, okay, the first-person shooters, and that's where all the complaints about violence usually come from. That or Grand Theft Auto.
Like Doom and all that.
And people it's always based on this sort of predicate that you're doing it because you want to kill. And I really believe that I play those games because I want the threat of being killed. I want that heightened state of existence, where more or less I need to kill in order for me to survive. But I need to have that kind of overarching threat because, face it, on a day-to-day basis, each person doesn't really have that much, you don't get to be that important. You don't get to be Bond. You don't get to be a Schwarzenegger character. And to be able to believe that you are someone with that kind of world-changing, status, you need to have a great deal of threat around you. I think people play the game more for the threat to give them the excuse to kill monsters and stuff like that. I know I do not endorse violence in the real world of any kind. And it's
because you're small.
Exactly, because I'm small, and I know if I hit, it hits back stronger. But it gives I think especially during the '90s when there was the height of the shooter. There's people making money and all this stuff was happening, but I think for a lot of individuals, they're seeing this all over the news, but they're not really reaping the benefits. And this is that way that, people said, oh, wow, I can really have that thrill of feeling really important.
Have people asked you a lot of questions after there have been school shootings about whether or not you thought that video games...
I usually try to avoid this after that because I believe after some of that, especially Columbine, I don't want to be giving that argument because what's happened has been so terrible. I'm like, let's not make this the First Amendment debate just yet because nerves are pretty raw. I received more death threats than I can explain after Columbine.
Really?
Yeah, my favorite was the guy who said that if I was raped and murdered in a New York alley, justice would be done. I love how he specified New York.
Well, that's a way
there's greater indignity if it happens on the Isle of Manhattan than anywhere else.
And what a wonderful way to end violence is to threaten you with more.
Exactly. I mean, irony tends to be lost at times like that. The fact that people are into violent video games is that's what kind of the problem is. Just why it's not just the games, it's everything else. Why do you have a culture that finds this need to be so aggressive? Because I think we feel sort of trapped in our regular lives. And I believe the games are symptomatic of society, and society is not symptomatic of its own culture and art. It's just, to me, that's just so blatantly obvious. Yeah. But obviously you don't get elected to office on logic. And cause and effect. I mean, Pong and Tetris. Right. I hit a button, that happens on the screen. That's what basic Atari is. There's something fundamentally satisfying. It's we get endorphins just from I did this and I made something happen over there. I think as humans, we just need to feel that we have some control over our environment.
Sometimes, when I talk to kids and something is really hard, or difficult and they want to give up and they feel like a failure, like, oh, I'm a failure. If I don't do it perfectly the first time, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
I will compare it to a video game, and I will say, how many times does it take you to play a level before you figure out what to do to pass on to the next level? Well, what makes life any different, and why would it be embarrassing? There's no failure, there's only learning.
Yeah, it's funny, and I'm completely sympathetic to the way that feels. There are times where I'm stuck on something, and I feel that I have to know how to do it. It is.
No, just the idea, like, there's no failure, it's just learning. Like, tell that to a guy, like, yeah,
But
it's
they,
not second
but they
place.
get it when they play a video game, because no one's watching.
Well, they don't.
So they do it until
Yeah,
they...
but you know, there are times where I am so neurotic, and I just feel like the game's reporting me to somebody. It's like, I'm gonna go into work tomorrow, and like, I can't believe you did that last night. You couldn't pass that at him. But I mean, I felt at times where like I can't get past something, and I want to resist the urge of like going online and figuring out what I have to do. But there's also this stress and pressure, like I'm supposed to know how to do this, and it's really weird. Granted, it's me, Adam Sessler, but I can make the fun of playing a video game into a neurotic nightmare. And actually, in every single game, there's an advisory inside the instruction manual that tells you to stop playing every 2.5 hours, get up and walk around, have a glass of water.
Really? Do you think
Prolonged playing can really screw with your head.
Do you think anyone's ever had a seizure?
Someone died
Who
Yeah.
died?
playing 50 hours straight in Korea.
Oh,
And there was one of those-
yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Well, I think that was the best show ever.
Screaming
That was,
for you in the chat room.
I'll be happy to. Where am I? Oh, here
Are
it is.
you not glad you
What are you doing there?
And I'm usually like
There's
on
a
the
thing,
floor, if you fell out
Yeah,
of
do you,
bed.
do
It's
you
like
ever get a word in edge?
wine and art.
Because
Oh.
the moments you couldn't.
Yeah,
Because
same
art's
room.
better
Yeah, I
drunk.
think
Yeah.
I sped up
Right?
twice today because you made me laugh while I was trying to drink something.
What are you typing, Adam?
I just said thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
That's good, thank you.
Oh, that was fun.
Art and wine sold out,
Art and wine is sold out.
so we might skip the art part. Just go for the drink.
This is.
Yeah.
I think podcasting is great because people get to just be themselves.
Yeah. It is. That was. It's also nice doing it in a house because you just don't
Yeah.
have the same. You know.
Yeah.
There's something a little more sterile about actual studios.
Yeah.
Where you're like, quick, get on,
They're
hey,
colder.
drive time radio.
When our podcast becomes famous and world renowned, we're still going to do it from our house.
I think you
Because I
should.
think people are more themselves here.
Oh no, you're completely right. It's like you really forget that microphone's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just hanging out, eating cheese nips, and
I wouldn't fart in a real studio, but
Did you
here
fart?
I feel very comfortable.
you farted.
You make me feel like I'm at home,
I
Weezy.
totally blamed Debbie for that.
Oh, that's
Man, it's pretty out there today. Look at that.
Oh wow, open
freeway. I'm
like, Jesus.
I'm probably one of those crazy people.
It's pretty out there today.
I was cracking up.
Happened there, Laura. You were smiling. And then
I'm sorry.
just like, what second? It was.
I look annoyed.
I know you do.
What are you doing?
So where are you guys off to? Let me see.
I'm off to Mid Wilshire
Ooh, you
to
look
grab a
hungry.
drink. Wow.
I guess in theory, like the other Comcast properties, like E or Style. I somehow don't see X play on Style
Yeah.
anymore.
I don't know, those shirts that you used to wear, maybe? Something.
Fashion emergency.
Fashion
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I think, Emmy, I've got a hunger on now.
Yeah, you
Burned
worked
up
it.
for the blood
You worked it.
I've
You worked
got
it.
that.
Thinking, coming up with the words and the
Oh, I know.
funnies.
We're challenging.
Yes, but good.
She said to me, I wanna be a lover. She said to